Did we get? Did this count as a sleep?
Yes, it counted as a. It counted as a sleep. A sleep that got interrupted, so you didn't get your stuff back.
Oh, so I don't get my rallying cry back? It's the next day. Technically, it's once per day.
Well, you know,
It's the middle of the night.
Unfortunately, you've already said we got the sleep, and I've edited my things, so.
That's okay. You can edit back. It's just that easy.
It's why I asked if we got the
Yeah,
sleep,
I know.
and you said
it's like
yes.
a legit
Like,
question.
you
And
knew what
Scott's
we were
like,
asking.
I'm sure Valorant crashed out at like 6. I mean, he was,
yeah.
all day. He was tired.
He's like, God, I've had such a terrible day with all those refugees. Thank God, my feather bed.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, there probably is at least a little bit of that, because he is from Marindale. He likes luxury.
Yeah, right. It's not unreasonable.
You cut to the camera in one's room when the knocking happens, and then you see like the owl bear rug like come up, and both him and Talia like.
I was expecting like the guard starts banging on the door, and then the head of an axe just comes through the door, like, oh.
Yeah, just where they're about to knock again, or they do knock, and it's just just cuts this bit here, just in between the fingers.
Oh
Like,
no!
That's the worst. You can't get a bandage there. You can't.
oh,
You can't. You can't do it.
of course you can.
You can't. Now, I said the word bandage because in America we call it a band-aid, but you guys are weird. So,
A plaster, you mean?
a plastic adhesive bandage.
We call them band-aids.
It's
here.
not a
Oh,
bandage.
okay.
It's not a bandage, Scott, because a bandage is something else.
Yeah.
That's a dressing.
Australia
That's a dressing.
is better than the UK. It's not good
No,
enough.
no.
Not good enough. You're still the queen.
We call them plasters, but if you look on the box, they're actually called like adhesive dressings.
Yeah, plastic adhesive
Yeah,
bandage.
I think.
No, because they're not bandages.
Hey, you know what else needs a bandage right now? Your kingdom.
No,
Yeah,
because
well,
bandages are
what's going on.
flammable. You dipshit.
Listen, I'm just saying. There are fires happening, and for once, it's not Naga's fault.
This is
Naga and Anno friends IRL because just want to know.
Jake's like,
Okay.
do they live near each other? Just asking like unrelated.
I think one lives in like Georgia, and the other lives in like Italy. So
Yeah, I know lives in Italy. I think. Yeah.
Georgia, Italy.
sorry, Georgia the state, not Georgia the
I
country.
do not have relations with that daddy's rule.
I enjoy that a lot.
That's good. I like that. Well, we better go out and do something about this. Which, by the way, honestly, Varum would be running out, like as they're saying. Well, running.
You know what's
He'd
going to be hilarious?
quick walking.
We're all gonna exit at different times because depending on how long it takes us to get ready or whatever, and then we're all going to be doing probably different things unless people are waiting for other people. So it's going to be fun.
Well, Valorant, honestly, with how he fell asleep, just get up, prestidigitation, he's probably good to go. He doesn't have to put on armor or anything.
Yeah, one has Tally put his armor on for him, and and then tells her to stay in the room, and they go. And that's where we'll pick up Scott.
Okay. So you
Scott's
put,
like all of that was live, by the way.
you put it, we have been live.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah. I thought you honestly didn't realize for a second.
That would have been hilarious.
So you stop and put on all of your armor first, really?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm going out ready to slaughter people.
All right, and Val, you can kind of just pop up and go. Though I bet you're a little slow moving because you're like, oh, I just want to sleep, man.
Yep.
Ray, do you armor as well, or do you just pop out?
He does not armor, but he's like, oh fuck, why did I put it in there? And he's like, this guy's like, what the hell's he doing? And then he like throws a pillow aside and grabs his spell book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys go.
Grabs his sword, obviously.
Yep. And you guys go heading out. Valorant grabs his sword too because it was a gift.
Well, he has the bag of holding. It's probably in there. But he doesn't need to have it on display because they're visiting. It's probably in the bag.
Bag of junk. All right. So, anyways, you guys are making your way. Sorry. I think it sounds better. Here we go.
You give a klepto a bag of holding. What happens? It gets full real fast.
It bursts at the seams. So you you guys make your way out of the your rooms and down into the city beyonds to see what is happening, because there literally is a building on fire. Unfortunately, the building that's on fire is the only building that wasn't occupied at the time. The smithy. Did
you say unfortunately?
Unfortunately, fortunately, I guess, whatever.
Yeah. So it's all our lives here, Scott. What the fuck? Unfortunately, there were no people in this building. If only it couldn't have been this.
He's about to describe why it's
60
unfortunately, I
people.
think.
Yeah. It's the
I
smithy.
think he's about to just... Yeah.
The smithy, which hasn't been used yet. It's literally been vacant since it was built, is on fire. And around the area, like as the two of you kind of like riding down and approaching, obviously the fire is casting a bright light into the streets around it. You can see that there are, in fact, a few dead bodies. Quickly rushing over and investigating the bodies that you see there, you can see that there are 4 people that look like commoners and 1 person that looks like a guard are lying there. If not completely dead, we're talking like will be in less than a minute, like on the verge of, of dying. You can hear combat going on down the streets as like there's shouts and whatnot in the darkness of night happening. Now, you guys happen to... Nighttime in Kurzfall is not the brightest of places because you do have a lot of trees in the area. So even if there's a large, full, bright moon with stars in the sky, it's still rather dark because of the canopy of trees you have overhead. So you hear off in the darkness to the side the sounds of fighting happening.
In a radius around us.
Okay. So 4 little globes of different color lights kind of slowly circle you guys as you go. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drink a dark vision potion.
Oh, then I would, in that case, I would adjust it so it's dim light for me, and so it's not too bad for him, but he can see further, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, do you guys go chasing after the sounds of combat?
Is there anyone here putting out the fire?
Nobody's actively putting out the fire. There are a couple people that are clearly your citizens that have stumbled out onto the streets that themselves and are looking at the fire but aren't reacting to it. You can tell that obviously guards would kind of jump on this, but they were like either on the outskirts of town around the camp in general or are now currently engaged in a combat that you hear off to the side.
Not actually knowing, what would happen if I ray of frosted a part of the fire, like the base of a bit of the fire?
I mean, you could put out a fire with ray of frost, just continuously blasting at it instead of chasing it.
I'd be doing it.
So you're just going to stay behind. You don't have to sit there and roll. It's literally you're just going to stay.
Yeah, no, I
for
just
like
did
a
it
minute.
once to pop it up. Yeah, I'll stay here and put out the fire.
Yeah, it makes more steam than say putting water onto the fire because of the huge temperature difference.
Yeah.
It makes a ton of steam, and smoke or whatever. But you eventually, are able to put out the fire on your own. I'd say a minute or so's time, maybe 2 minutes.
One
Neil?
round is 6 seconds, correct?
Yes, sir.
In that case, I will take a 6-second action. Rayron places his hand on his spell book, outstretches his hand, says a couple of things, and he just blitzes the fire. So all the bits of fire that are unprotected, unless they're large, they're all just going to be put out automatically. And if they're protected, there's a...
That's where our ray of frost comes in.
50% chance to extinguish protected
it's actually
flames.
a thing.
So I know that it won't put all of it out because we're talking about a large blaze here. But it's going to deal some damage to the flame.
Yeah, and then I can target the parts that doesn't get, which that's going to speed things up considerably.
Yeah, because it says gust of wind can do anything a set of blast of wind can do expected, such as, but it can also fan a large fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm not just going to blitz it straight into the center of a blaze, because that's just going to feed it a load of oxygen and get it.
So you're trying to hit the low. So you're angling to not hit the big area, to hit specifically the smaller part. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so you're being smart about it, not just blasting at the fire. You're blasting like that half of the fire. I get what you're saying. So it's literally one of those things where you see the wind start to kick up. And I imagine Valorant for a second, kind of like don't move over here. You're gonna feel the fire. But Rayward, of course, is he doesn't have to say that because Rayward, of course, is smart. and he hits like
Yeah.
the weaker area of the fire, completely billows it out and whatnot. And there's one innocent passersby that's like watching from the side. Ah! He's like thrown onto the ground, but it doesn't hurt them. And the fire like half is put out. And then now, Rayron, do you stand here as well?
He's gonna give Varen a nod. He knows Varen's got this in hand,
Yep.
and then he'll go to the combat.
Okay, so you go chasing after the combat. Now, Varen, instead of taking 2 minutes, it's only taking about a minute to put up the rest of the fire, right? And so you are going to go chasing after the combat, sir. And as you go chasing after it, you kind of hearing it getting closer and closer. You come around a bend, and you can literally see there are a few refugees all teamed up against, like I should say several. So there's like 7 refugees that are teamed up, not with real weapons and hands, though. We're talking with things that they happen to grab up, so on and so forth. One of them literally holding the weapon that was taking off the guard that died over there, fighting against 2 of your guards, 2 of the actual city guard of Cursefall. And, well, they're outnumbered, even though they're higher skilled. They're outnumbered, and so your guards are not doing well at the moment.
Rayron will draw sword and shout for the guards to fall back to his position.
Profession soldier.
Ooh.
Happy with that?
I mean, we've only got 1 Daddy's dice. I'm not gonna.
Their Twitch chat pool of luck. Daddy's dice are mine. And so he.
I like calling them Daddy's dice. It's easier to say. Twitch chat pool of luck. Daddy's dice.
Okay, well, I think what it is that Neil wants to be your daddy. So, the other 2 weren't in on that one. So, you give your command, and they listen to you, of course. But perhaps maybe the timing of your command or the direction exactly that you gave wasn't the best, because in their attempt to retreat,
I should have done.
It provokes attack of opportunity, and one of the guards they're backing up just gets clobbered by the people around them and ends up falling down. And of course, the citizens that are down there, because there's kind of a mob mentality, even though there's only 7 of them, they're kind of in a bit of a mob mentality right now. Nighttime, cover of night. There's kind of like how human brains transition. It's how you excuse things like what happened in Germany and whatnot. Like, it's just mob mentality takes over. Humans don't act as their individual selves. We act as one entity that generally is not for the greater good of other entities. So yeah, they start stomping out the person that's on the ground as the other one retreats back to you.
Rayron will shout at them, and he makes a couple of gestures with his hands and cast hypnotism.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a beautiful one. Let me roll with my...
So they will have a...
Roll me 2d4.
They're in combat, so it's +2. 2d4 / roll 2d4.
6? That's gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous, darling. You properly hypnotized 6 of them. Like, literally, out of the 7 I just said, 6 of them just kind of, what is it? They just look at you and, like, almost, like, mesmerized. Like, whoa, what is that? What is going on? What is this, like, almost majestic thing that I see? You can tell in their eyes, it's just, like, calms down, kind of like calm emotions, as they're just, like, completely distracted. Leaving the one other guy that comes rushing forward. Coincidentally, the one with the sword in his hands comes rushing forward, and your guard, seeing the opportunities, the other 6 just seem distracted. He rushes forward as well, and it's one of those, your guard can easily overpower this one coming at him. So it's a clang, clang, boot to the chest, and ends up having to remove the sword from his hand by removing his hand at the wrist. And it is
I want that clipped. I want that to be like, when Scott gets a subscriber or a follower.
Yes.
Like, instead of it being Alicia popping up, it's just Scott goes
No, it wasn't the same the second time. So anyways,
glorious.
And that's you. He drops that one guy. You have them hypnotized. What do you do?
Disarm them and trust them.
And trust them?
Truss.
Trust. You mean
T-U-S-S.
tie them up?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Hog tie.
It lasts for, roll me 2d4 for how long?
I've rolled.
You rolled for how many? Now you have to roll for how long?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was actually looking through that, trying to. I think it is roll for both.
Is it?
Or it might be both at the same time.
I see. It's
No,
number
yeah,
of
it is
die,
two. Yeah,
they're down for 6 turns. Yeah, exactly the same roll.
It's funny that you rolled the exact same thing twice. Wait. I did not see your second roll.
Yeah, it didn't pop up.
Oh my god!
I was looking. I was like, yeah, it has the same exact roll.
Yeah, I was like,
wait,
I
that's
was
the only
hoping
roll.
it was just me. I was hoping it was just me.
Rolled a 2 and a 4, 2d4. Which me rolled like snake eyes.
Oh,
yeah! 2 rounds.
Honestly, this roll 20 is ruining life right now.
Yeah, except for when it saved you earlier with the 9 to 19.
Yeah, it giveth and it taketh away.
That was like a it giveth and it taketh. Fucking Bob.
Let's all take a moment to appreciate our long-term and resident lurker. Hi, Midori. How are you, Jelly?
Midori's got a founder badge. That means Midori was here first, everyone.
I don't know what that
Midori was here. Midori was here before it was cool. It means Midori's one of the OG.
Yeah, one of the first couple subscribers. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that was a thing.
They just added it.
I pay attention to Twitch news.
No, they didn't I don't think they gave it as news. They just rolled out.
No, it was on
quietly.
Twitter. They just put it as a Twitter thing.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. No, Midori was there. From if not the very first stream, definitely the first 3 streams. Definitely was there. I don't know if saw those really shitty video games I played at first, but we all remember if there's a whip, there's a way. If there's a whip, there's a way. You know that song, right?
No.
You know that song from The Hobbit?
No.
Don't remember it.
Oh, it's a great song. Anyways, moving on. So we continuing. Sorry, my apologies. Where were we? Oh, so there's only 2 rounds. There's only 2 rounds.
Wait. I can add a daddy's dice onto that, right?
No, it's not a D20 roll.
But it's got a 2.
But it's not a D20 roll.
But that's basically a 20. How do you know it's not a D20 roll? Roll 20 is broken.
I see a couple of triangles.
But it's on roll 20, so is it not a 20 roll?
Hold on, I have to time out on 21 for a second.
There
we go.
He's gone.
There we are.
Oof.
I missed what he said, but I saw it'll mention the Hobbit.
He knows what he said, and that's what's important.
Was it about you being as short as a Hobbit, Scott?
Oh no! I'm way taller than Josh.
Yeah, I know you're taller than Josh, but a dwarf's taller than a Hobbit.
Avoid Hobbits, noted.
Ouch. So moving on. You have 6 seconds. That's actually 12 seconds. It's enough time that you can go over there and start trussing some of them up. But at the same time. You kind of can overpower them in force of will, right? So when they kind of come to and start snapping out of it or whatever, how do you react to the situation there, Neil? Do you use words? Do you punch one in the face? Do you stab a guy in the throat? What do you do?
Oh yeah, I'll just toe it up. Shall I just grab my axe and just first off, I'm just gonna go ahead and cast that one.
Your chair moved right at the right time, so it was I'm just going to grab my axe and...
and then I will tell them all, you're under arrest. If you lie still, you'll be given a fair trial. If not, I can't say what'll happen to you, but I am armed with a very sharp sword.
Intimidation. This is where you need 1. He just succeeds and sets you on fire.
I like that we're gonna have the situation under control, and one's gonna, what a miss.
That's good enough. That's fine.
Are you happy with that one?
The problem with armor.
Okay, and so you start tying them up, and it takes some time. Valrin, it takes a minute or so for you to finish putting out the fire. 1, you saw the fires and where they were coming from the castle. as you were finally got your armor on and started approaching? Do you head straight towards where you see the fire, even though it's getting smaller?
I would ask for a report, like if there's any combat would be the first thing I asked a guard on the outside as I was getting on my horse or something.
Okay. So a report, like there's several chosen. There are several skirmishes in the streets. Some of the what are they called? Refugees have. Well, it turns out they're not refugees. They're in fact terrorists. They've gone about and are setting fire and attacking people. They've tried to steal goods from the shops and.
Where are the skirmishes? Any near the temple?
All about. In fact, Lady Orenda's. Sorry. Not Lady Orenda. Winifred Orenda's temple has been ransacked. They went in there, they broke in, stole several of the supplies.
Fuckers.
We've been trying to contain them every place that we could, but so many of the guards are currently outside of the town with the rest of the refugees. It's made it difficult.
Any near the Temple of Rogar?
No reports about near Vrogar so far. Oh, thank goodness.
I'll make my way to the
of the giant axe. Sorry.
Winifred Orenda.
Okay. He nods.
Where I head.
Val, you finally finished putting out the fire. Put out the last little bit there. You see burning embers, coals, and whatnot, and you could probably throw another in there as well. Yeah. But you're confident that the problem here has been resolved. Can you even get word to the people that were kind of watching about, maybe some of the citizens, throw snow on it, kind of grabbing snow from over and tossing it in, and continue putting snow on the embers. Make sure that the burns, whatever you do to take care of it, of course, that minute, right? Do me a favor, roll me a perception check once that's done.
My brain somehow is just like, oh, you didn't say throw a sow on it? It's just a flaming pig just setting fire to everything. Oh my.
Hey, a good perception for once.
There you go. That's actually a beautiful perception check, sir. So what it is you hear what's going on. You kind of hear off in the distance Rayrin giving occasional commands. That one a bit better. Why is this happening? That kind of you hear it off in the distance, Rayrin's voice kind of cutting through the darkness or whatever. You can hear even further off in other directions. There are a bit of skirmishes happening that are about. But most importantly, you heard something else. From much closer by, you're pretty sure you heard glass shatter. Looking off in that direction, you see, because again, your parents, you have low light vision, dark vision, whatever it is. You both, not dark vision, only low light vision, because you were paying.
But I've also had the dancing lights around me, sort of thing.
Correct. You see that the front door to the mansion nearby is ajar.
Okay. I would immediately grab one of the bystanders and get the guard, get some guards or a guard. Just tell someone this building's being ransacked, and I would go towards it.
Okay. As you approach General Yeager's mansion, you definitely are able to kind of look about, and again, you have low light vision, so you're able to look about, and you can see, it was one of the windows, the window on the second floor that was smashed open. You didn't help build it, but you were definitely here during a lot of the building process, right? One knows the place intimately, right? He knows exactly where the studs are. He was one of them. You know that the window that was just smashed happens to be in the room of General Yeager's bedroom.
Yeah, I would honestly be moving pretty quickly up there, because if he's awake, I can get him up, and then we can clear this together rather than just be me alone.
Yep. So you start making your way up those stairs, up the first couple of steps into the front door, and then kind of bursting through the front door. Do you try to proceed from here quietly, or do you just try to be quick?
What do I hear when I get up there?
Immediately when you can hear that there's voices upstairs overhead. You can't quite make out what they're saying. Roll me a perception check, and you can hear footsteps happening over there. Though they're not footsteps that are hurried, like scuffled or sound like there's really any fighting happening. With 25 perception, beautiful roll, sir. Beautiful. Damn. You actually are able to hear that the voices are saying, "Quick, quick people. This is what I'm gonna tell you." Somebody else is like, "That's right. This message comes from home." And so you're like, "Ooh."
That's right. This message comes from home. The parent are mad. The parent are attacking us.
I'm running straight in there, bashing in. and swift action shielding.
So your swift act shield as you're rushing up the stairs as quickly as you can, rounding the corner, running over to the room where his bedroom happens to be, and bursting through the door. However, you did make enough noise that I can roll perception checks. Perception!
25. Jeez, Valorant. What the hell?
Yeah, look.
You've been visiting the Shrine of Brogar. You're like,
Well, look. He had it's when you've been jarred awake in the middle of the night and you were just on alert, like it's activated the lizard brain that you're like, and I'm up, I'm active. Yep.
yeah.
That's what's going on.
Rest of Valorant's not quite woken up yet. He's not got all that intellect to weigh him down yet.
Yeah, yet.
He's running Valorant OS .life.
I mean, he's honestly being pretty brave here compared to what he would normally do. He's like,
yeah,
fucking
that's
nope.
true. That is true.
All right.
Let me activate shield, actually, because I did get shield activated.
Of course, and click your mini impress initiative, and I'll describe everything in just a moment for you. Why did you not do that for me?
Hey!
There you go. 1 second. Oop.
Good initiative, too. Fuck yeah.
I pressed 21 for my modifier by accident.
I have an idea of how I want to start this depending on what things look like on the inside of the room.
I think I have a mini for him, don't I? Where is NPCs? I have to have a mini for him, right? Leon, yeah, here we go. And then initiative for this gentleman. Oop. Even though he's probably not going to be able to act, and you'll see why in a second. Sorry. I think I just click his name, and it rolls initiative. Isn't that how I do it? Click. Nope. Is there an... here it is. Here's
I mean, that's appropriate.
Yeah, I can't act the restaurant anyways. All right.
I'm guessing he's tied up or something.
Okay, so when you first come bursting into his bedroom is actually a rather large, grand bedroom. Like, we're talking, it's a pretty good size because it's a friggin' mansion, and he designed it that way, right? So he has a pretty good sized bedroom. It's probably the most luxurious thing you know about the man because overall he's a pretty simplistic soldier person, right? He's a old military. When you come bursting in, you can actually see clearly he was attacked while he was in his bed. There's already blood, on his face. Sorry, my apologies. He's on the grounds, not quite next to his bed, but also not far from it. You can tell that he was attacked while he was in his bed and probably either fell out of or was thrown out of the bed and definitely hit a few more times from there. One of the men is holding a cudgel in one hand and a dagger in the other. The cudgel itself looks like it has blood dripping off of it, and the other guy has an axe in his hand. And the two of them were standing over him, or at least were standing over him and getting ready to do something. You know what I mean? As he's kind of like on the ground, not feated because he's not, cowering or by any stretch of the imagination. He's on the ground and clearly is like trying to get himself up, but was just beaten a good bit. So who knows? And when you come bursting through the door and you see the two men standing there, they immediately one of them is already kind of turned around because they heard the. Sorry. Let me do it with more of a pattern. Up the stairs, right?
Oh my god, you're like a ninja. You're like.
You should hear my wife run. My wife's 4'11" and can't walk upstairs. She only goes. Like it's so funny. It's one of those things you always know when she's coming because you hear that. So, anyways, you see one of them is kind of like clearly it's already half turned hearing you come up the stairs. When you come bursting the door, both of them immediately turn around, and you can see Leon seeing you, kind of like slumps back for a second, like appreciative for like the moment. The fight's probably not out of him, but he's definitely got the crap kicked out of him, right? Anyways, so you come bursting in. You clearly kind of caught them by a bit of a surprise. You get the drop on them. You get to go first. Oh, because of the size of the room is like I want to say like a 16 by 20, right? It's a pretty big room for a bedroom. He's there in like kind of like the far corner, so they're like maybe 10 feet from you.
Yep. Okay. Which one looks the more dangerous of the two, at a glance?
The one with the axe, you think?
Cool. I'm just gonna do this on him.
Aha!
So he walks in the door and just runes fly up straight up. He doesn't say anything. This is like him saying something spell. This is the.
Gotcha. 1 second for me to roll this.
He's just gonna find the situation very funny for some reason.
And then he laughs out the broken window.
Yeah.
So it's literally one of those things where you come bursting through the door. Immediately, you say a couple words as you're walking in the door. Say a couple words, do some gestures, whatever, and throw a tiny fruit tart in feathers, almost like confetti. And you, as soon as you do it, kind of like making eye contact with the guy, he's like.
I'm glad he's not cut out. Oh, there we go.
Like that.
Okay. Headphones back on.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, everyone, for that.
Please forgive me, chat.
Someone in chat just instantly goes, never cast that spell again.
I looked away from the microphone.
No, it was loud.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay, so that worked. Good.
Sorry.
And then, yes, that's my action because I technically swift actioned on the way in. So.
And on sub.
Yep. No. This is, remember, you swift action on your action going in. This is a
Well,
whole new
not knowing
turn.
the system well enough yet. Still, combat at least. What other things can I do on my swift action now? Then.
Oh, do you have any other spells or abilities that can be utilized in swift action? If you don't, then nothing. Those are kind of like unique things, not like standard.
Yeah,
spells.
no. I can't like brace or something ready for this other guy who's going to come at me.
Nope. Not unless you have a specific ability that does it. All right, cool. So one of these guys is giggling. Allow me to put a little giggle marker on him. Where's a good giggle marker? Where's
We might finally get to test that ability that I never get to use.
This one? It looks like they're holding their ears and they're like surprised by like all the headphone users. The other guy immediately seeing you burst in has no clue who you are. You don't think, and they're gonna start coming at you with their cudgel and their dagger.
I got shield up, just ready to brace.
Okay. So you have your shield up, you're ready to brace as they come at you. So they come rushing towards you, holding their weapon for a second, and then they slow down. And they look at you and go, "Hey, you one of us?"
Just,
And you see
as in,
before
like-
you a parent man.
yeah, I figured as much. Not anymore.
He goes into a snarl, like, "Rrr," and he's going to attack at you. Like a wide swing with the cudgel, followed up with a thrust up with the dagger, right?
Yep.
Because this is how you swing weapons. This is how weapon swinging happens. No?
Totally, 100. I believe. I played Skyrim.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. We make my attack rolls against you is what we're going to do. Attacking Valorant. Number of attacks, DOS. Chance to hit, X. Number of dice, Y. Damage type, Z. And modifier, Q. Oh, your AC jumped up to 17. That's beautiful.
That's my shield.
Yeah, no, it's a good spell. Good spell. He was plus 4 AC. For like a couple minutes. So, anyways,
For only the small cost of your pride.
he swings
Yeah,
at you
honestly, yeah.
with the cudgel, and easily you're able to throw up your shield. Kind of blocks it as he catches him off guard. He wasn't aware of the fact that there was an ethereal shield that's there. With that first contact, it kind of like gives like a slight moment of like a half a second of being visual as kind of like
Yeah, he's just like
ripples across the
holding
edges
up his
of
hand
magic.
like this, and he's like, "That looks really. What is he? Oh."
And so he takes that opportunity to kind of like, once that first one hits the shield, he kind of like rushes forward and kind of throws his shoulder against the force barrier of shield, and then thrusts the dagger around it and actually does catch you. And with the dagger, actually does 5 points of damage.
You actually, funnily enough, that's actually pretty much exactly what I wanted to happen, was to block the cudgel but get hit by the dagger, because I have an ability I have yet to use, which I'm about time. So tell me when it's my turn.
Abs of steel.
It's the other guy's turn, and does he get a saving throw every round after that? I don't think he does.
No, I don't. If he fails, I think it's just that many rounds. Let me have a look.
So on his turn, the other guy, what he does is... Just kidding. I'm not gonna...
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. Nope.
Okay. And Leon is on the ground. He kind of, they're a bit distracted at the moment. He kind of like backs up a little bit and then tries to get back, starts trying to get back up to his feet. He, uses a bit of furniture that's behind him to get himself up. So he's like, kind of squatting, kind of like leaning on the thing heavily, leaning on the thing heavily with his arm, and his, arm, elbow area. But not quite back on his feet yet. Now it's your turn again.
Cool. So the first spell I cast is going to be upper caster level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. Whenever you take damage, your effect increases by 1. What? That's insane.
Yeah. So, I'm going to cast... now, I have to cast defensively here if I don't want to get an attack of opportunity, right? For
rules-wise.
So I can take the free 5-step, can't I?
You can take a free 5-foot step back and cast that way because there's literally 5 feet behind you, so you can do exactly that. Before you decide where the railing is there. Or casting defensively, just as a reminder, it's DC 15 plus 2 times spell level. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to take the 5-foot step. So he's going to do like the stab, and then almost as if not even like the fact that Valorant not only expected it, was fine with it as he stepped back. He's probably going to throw the guy off a bit. Like, what? And then using that pain, you see runes ripple up his arm, and this time he casts the snowball with a little extra oomph.
Okay.
It's only a 9. I'm really tempted to luck that because that's going to be a lot of damage. I didn't even get the extra point of damage yet.
14 damage.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get it.
Well, it's not a 9. It's a 10 because of...
it is a 10. You're right.
Point blank shot. So it's 15 damage plus 1 more is 16 points of damage, which is a lot.
It's actually... Let me do... It would actually be an extra D6, wouldn't it? Per level. That doesn't include my extra
that doesn't
thing.
include the D6, does it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know how to command it.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me if you're going to use your pool of luck or not? Because that's 15, that's 16... Because you're
19
20.
damage.
Because if you take damage, don't you? Oh no, not if you take damage. That's if you cut yourself, you can do more damage or something like that, right?
Yeah. If I use
19.
sacrificial boon.
That's right. So you're at 10. Do you want to affect your attack roll? It's not like they're wearing heavy armor. Do you want to affect your attack
He can't be wearing any armor really, because he would have had to disguise himself as a refugee on the way in.
That's true. Do you guys think I should luck it then?
Confirm. He is he.
Is this guy wearing normal clothes or is he wearing armor?
It looks like he's wearing normal clothes, maybe like heavily, like because of winter clothing, it's like heavily padded clothes, but nothing that's like particularly protective.
What do you guys think?
If you want to hit him hard, then you should do it. I mean,
I think
you'll have to
want to
roll
save.
a 4.
It's true. I think I want to try and save this guy with as little issue as possible. So I'm going to try. Also, it'll see if this pool has changed or not. Oh, rolled a 1. So that's 11.
Unfortunate.
And the guy that came at you was the guy.
11 may well be enough.
The guy that came at you is the guy with the 2 weapons, right? Well, there's a minimum requirement for 2-weapon fighting, and it requires a higher dexterity.
Oh no.
We're better off with the axe guy doing something like that. Is there no other way to modify that?
No.
Okay, then with your...
That's fine.
11 chances, unfortunately a miss. So you hurl a snowball at the guy after taking a 5-foot step back, literally summoning a snowball in your hand like Elsa, and and hurling it at him. It misses. Unfortunately.
Let it
Okay.
go.
Luckily, the other guy's still on the ground for at least 3 more turns.
So he's going to attack at you again with his 2 weapons.
Yep.
Number attacks 2.
This is less good.
So the first attack against you, this time is with the cudgel. Kind of like the snowball misses.
Yep.
And he kind of jumps to the side. It whizzes past his head. He can almost like barely, you can feel the cold on his cheek. But he kind of rushes forward. And he once again kind of like throws his body against yours, allowing the shield to take the brunt of the blow. As he bends you somewhat backwards over the railing that's behind you. And he's going to kind of like try to grab at that force shield with his daggered hand. And like kind of claw the dagger around it and pull it back enough to bash with the cudgel on like the shoulder, the inner arm, 4 points of damage. And then now that he has got like the cudgel in there and hit you, and he's got like the dagger on the shield, he like weakly tries to like come back at you with the dagger. But you kind of like you've already bent over the post, kind of like easily able to stay out of the reach of the dagger. Does not hit you.
Yeah. Okay.
The other guy was laughing hysterically for a period of time, and then you can literally see he's over there, like he's like really like when you have the hiccups and you're just trying not to hiccup and you're just like concentrating.
Yeah.
You
He's
can
trying
see
not to
his
laugh.
face is getting.
I thought it lasted 4 rounds.
As a 4-round action, I'm pretty sure you can eliminate the... as a 4-round action, that does not provide an attack of opportunity. And you can see that he literally spends... Last time he did that, it didn't really work. This time, he's able to concentrate himself, and he's still got like a little bit of a... but he's...
I may die here, guys.
He's got like his senses back about him. As like... They're trying to like catch his breath back, like, from this area. After that's going to be Leon's.
We have 4 dice left. Sorry, go on. Yep. I was just complimenting the fact that we actually have more dice, which is good.
You have Leon's turn. Leon stands his full length, kind of gets himself back up, the old man, and looks about to see where he has a weapon nearby. And there is no specific weapons nearby, but
he doesn't have a sword in his bedroom.
That guy would have dropped his axe when he's laughing, maybe.
It doesn't specifically say you drop your things.
No,
you're
it
not
doesn't.
Specifically stunned. Yeah, stunned is actually what gets
That's fair.
Just making sure. Yep. Okay. So stun does not do that. So you So Leon kind of finishes standing up, and he's actually going to grab at whatever he happens to have nearby, because he's literally kind of got chased into a corner, so he doesn't have his weapons readily available around him. So now that he's standing up, he grabs something off of the piece of furniture that's next to him, just like whether it be like a vase or whatever it might be that's there, and takes the thing and tries to smash it over the guy's head from behind to catch him off guard. But this is an improvised weapon, which means a -4 to his chance to hit. So poor Leon has to do it with a -4. So whatever I click here, it's 4 less than that.
Hopefully the laughing got someone else's attention as well.
It was loud.
So instead of an 8, he actually only rolled a 4. My apologies. Yeah. Wow. So he tries to smash over the guy's head. What happens is the guy who's trying to kind of gather himself, he actually ends up like just like a little bit and leans forward, and he happens to smash kind of like the back of his back and like the kind of like his back of his shoulder and everything, an area that can easily take a pretty heavy blow without it really affecting you. So he actually misses the guy, but then Leon literally was just bashed in his face while he was sleeping. You know what I mean? So he's a little thrown off. That's unfortunately his turn, and gathers the ire of the person in front of him.
When I finally meet Scott, I'm going to have a pot somewhere in the vicinity, either bring it with me or buy one. And then, like, when we're just having a good chuckle, I'm just going to pull it out, whack him, and be like, ha, -4 to hit this. And that'll be it. And then we'll go to the ER, because...
Okay, so is there anywhere I can, like, step to the side, that sort of thing, to get out of melee combat?
God will have to sell his new house to pay for it.
I can't see the map.
You
oh wow, yeah.
You will with your 5-foot step again. At this point, there's no step really to the right because you're on like just corner you. Behind you would be jumping off the balcony to the area below.
Yeah, no.
and going to the left would still keep you within reach of him because it's only a diagonal step to the side. So there is no 5-foot step away at this point.
All right, so I'm just gonna have to use defensive then. So spellcraft.
Yes. It's a concentration check, which you press on your spell page, top left-hand corner.
I thought it was spellcraft last time.
No, concentration to do this. Yeah.
I
may have said wrong last time, but it's concentration.
Maybe. Damn it. Okay. Damn. That's a lot.
What's your
that's a lot worse. 17.
It didn't send.
If you don't cast defensively, he gets an attack of opportunity, but it is only the one. Like, he doesn't get both.
Okay.
So it's up to you whether you think you can take another hit or not, but you won't. Like,
you know what? Right now I can.
Spell, so...
Right now I think I can take one extra hit. I think it's probably.
So think of it this way. Let's assume worst case scenario, because he's just a guard, right? Or a person here. Let's assume his chance to hit's a +5. That means he has to roll a 12 or higher to hit you. What's your concentration modifier?
8.
And what's the spell you're trying to cast?
Level 1.
So DC 17 plus 8, you only have to roll 9 or higher to hit that. So do you trust you're rolling a 9 or higher, which is a 60% chance, I think, or do you trust them rolling a 12 or higher to hit you? What odds do you prefer?
That's.
And you have Twitch chat Pool of Luck. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's. I mean.
Sometimes, Tash, you just have to roll the dice.
You know, okay, for this one, I think... actually, just a second. This building, is it built out of wood, or is this room built out of stone?
It's mostly wood. Like stone foundation or whatever, but it's mostly wood.
Tash, tucks away the burning hands. Fine.
Damn it. Yeah, that's... I was just like, fuck. Okay, no, I guess I'm just going to try and take a hit. Then I think.
Okay.
Now this is once again at a higher cast. Is there a way I can set it to do a higher caster level version?
You'd have to change your caster level by 1 for a moment. You know. As far as I can just roll actually, there's technically there's a buff that you can make that increases your caster level by 1 temporarily, but I don't know the modifiers for that at the moment. Oh my god!
You got.
Did he roll a 20?
I rolled a natural 20 and I followed up with a total modifier of a 17. I'm gonna snip in this. I gotta snip this so people don't know I'm.
Bye guys. I'm fucking dead. I'm gonna fucking die.
The damage is wrong because the damage doesn't include the doubling. Where is hold on? I'm gonna throw this in spoilers, even though I haven't read spoilers in a few days and I really gotta catch up on it. I'm gonna throw that over in spoilers. Just so we know I'm not lying. Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, let me just add my extra dice on there. So that's
I believe ties go to the PCs.
It's not a tie. It's a defeat.
Yeah. Okay.
1 second.
I'm gonna.
Oh. That's weird. I gotta do my damage. Okay, so he makes an attack of opportunity against you. And does a total of 10 points of damage with that attack of opportunity, and it disrupts your spell, so you're not able to cast it.
Wait, what?
Right? Attack of opportunity... Oh, no, you just have to make a concentration check. You have to make a concentration check against the DC... what is it? 10 plus damage?
If I knew that was a thing, I would have just taken the first concentration check rather than damage and a concentration check.
Well, if they missed you, it wouldn't be a concentration check. But if they hit, anytime you take damage and casting a spell, it's always a concentration check.
I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would have just taken the concentration check. Oh, fuck. Okay, fine.
I'm just double checking the rules on it to make sure I get the DC correct for you, because I don't want to give you the wrong DC.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I see it rolled on an edge. Why? What's the total?
8 to hit.
Oh, 8 for the chance to hit.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Ouch, it's another shitty attack roll. So, hold on 1 second. DC 10 plus damage taken plus the level of the spell you cast. So if you took 10, it's DC 21 concentration. Ouch.
DC 21? I didn't make it anyway.
Yeah, so the spell did not go off. Sorry. And, yeah, so it's one of those, he smashes you, and you take the damage. It's now his turn. And
Naga, it literally does nothing. I roll it, then I don't make the attack, so it's fine. It's no point.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you try to cast the spell. It's one of those like, oh no, I've got this, and he's like, no, I've got you. So you're gonna cast the spell. And you put your guard down for just 1 moment, and he just smashes you in the side of the dome piece with the cudgel. It's kind of like, ugh. You see in stars. You almost get out the words to cast the spell, but unfortunately, you kind of just barely flub them up. I think it was too great of a pause between 2 syllables, and it does not go off. He attacks you again, of course. Attacking at you again. Kind of like following up with a cudgel again while you're still dazed. He's able to swing again, trying to go for another headshot, but misses, ends up clipping your shoulder. Same shoulder they hit before for a total of 3 points of damage. And then kind of like you have your senses back about you and you end up like using all of your force to throw the guy backwards, shoving him with your shield to push him back. And so the dagger attack does not hit. After that, the other guy who was laughing beforehand still has a bit of a chuckle to him. He turns around and is now facing against Jaeger. And he looks at him and says, "Oh, we're not done, traitor." And raises his axe to attack an unarmed and unarmored Jaeger.
Can I not hear this intense laughter that has been going on for a while?
The laughter stopped.
But bearing in mind I was able to hear the clash of weapons.
You heard the clash of weapons, which is loud ringing noise and whatnot. That was much closer. So he walks the opposite direction of where you were, right? So there was a fire. You went this way. He went that way, and they're inside of a building.
Right. Yeah, but
Valorant also sent for guards.
The smithy,
Correct.
The smithy and Leon's house are right next to each other.
Correct.
I know that the Leon's house is sizable.
Correct.
But like that was some loud ass, hideous laughter.
Right next to each other is not directly next to each other. There's still a good distance between the two of them.
Okay.
So here we go. So he actually. Leon's AC is wrong. I was like, how does he have an AC of 16? It's because he's wearing armor. What's his actual AC? What does he wear for armor? I'm just double checking what he's wearing. He wears plate, doesn't he? Because his dexterity's, he's wearing some type of plate. His AC is only a 10 because he's an old man. He's a dex of 10. So he actually does hit Leon with the axe. So it's like, for 5 points of damage. And Leon's kind of grabs at the axe where it's in him, starts trying to pull it back out. Leon is not doing well. He had the shit kicked out of him before this guy just hit him with the axe. He is not doing okay at all. You imagine he's going to fall pretty quickly. There we go. After that is going to be Leon's turn. Like I said, he kind of grabs at the axe and tries to pull it out, and then he's going to do the only thing he can do because he has no weapons on hand. He has nothing about. He just has to get creative. Luckily, he's got a lifetime of being a soldier. So, hopefully this works in his favor. Yay. Leon rolls against the guy's CMD. He rolls CMB. He unfortunately, it does provoke an attack roll from the guy as he tries to grapple him. Guy provokes an attack of opportunity. Hopefully this one doesn't go the way the last one did. Actually, I rolled a 2 plus my modifier. He actually misses Leon with his attack of opportunity as Leon tries to dodge at the guy. Leon's now going to make a CMB check. Hopefully this works out well. Go, Leon. Well, I could try to modify that with some dice, but
it's gotta be a daddy's dice because it's one of your rolls.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think a D, even a 4, would really help that. CMD is
I still think you should see.
Oh yeah.
Use a daddy's dice.
I use one of those dice. There you go, Neil. I'm back down to 8. That's pretty good. All right, it's now your turn, Val.
Okay, well this time I'm going to try and cast
Might be
defensively.
time for the burning hands.
It won't do enough anyway, I don't think, even if I get them both. Plus, I would literally be setting the building on fire, which would fuck us over more.
What is it? It's a first level spell, and it's 1d4 points fire damage per caster level, and your caster level will be raised by 1, won't it? So what would that be?
He's definitely
It'd be
in range
5d4.
because of where you're standing, how I described
Did
it
you say
originally.
5?
It would be 5d4 because of I've taken damage.
They're both definitely within range, and Leon is actually just barely outside of range because of how I've described it beforehand. Because he failed his grapple. If he succeeded his grapple, he'd be in range as well.
Blitz him. It'll save your life. We can deal with this room later. He's a pragmatic man.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to cast defensively, so concentration.
DC 17 concentration.
Okay. And then an extra D4.
We didn't see your concentration check.
Are you fucking...
We saw your total... Hey! That was beautiful.
It's basically the same. That is what I rolled, pretty much.
Okay.
That's why I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
13 points of damage is there any modifier to that 13 or is it just the flat 13?
No, it's just flat 13.
Okay, cool. Because you're not...
Is it not point blank on the one guy in front of you?
No, it doesn't work that way. I have to do an attack roll. That's why I have the other spells.
I get you.
Okay, give me 1 second. Here we go. DC 15, actually both of them. I rolled a natty 20 in that roll, but that was my last roll. So they both rolled a less than 15. One rolled less than 10. One rolled a 13. So you you actually succeed, dealing 13 points of fire damage to both of them. So they are both seriously injured. The room set ablaze. Literally, his bed is on fire. Other things are set ablaze. But neither of them drop. They're both very, very injured, but neither drop.
Val's like been carefully throwing these snowballs and missing his... fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the room just goes whoosh, out the window, just goes whoosh.
Val?
Yeah. I reckon this is going to create some lights, at the very least. Okay.
Val,
yeah.
I am going to make an attack roll at you. Sorry, I'm going to make a check against you, but you're going to get an attack of opportunity first if you have a melee weapon in hand. Do you have a melee weapon in hand?
My staff.
Okay, good. Then you are able to provoke
Oh,
an attack
here we go, boys! The return of the staff!
You were able to provoke an attack of opportunity.
You mean he provokes an attack of opportunity?
You were able to.
Oh,
make
that
an
hits!
Oh, damn!
That's beautiful. So 18 is a good thing. 2 points of damage.
Wait. I hit him, and it's the Staff of Curses. He's trying to attack me, right?
My apologies. What was that?
I hit him with this.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's trying to attack me.
Correct.
I might just do one of these and hit him with a blindness, deafness.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
and he has a -2 penalty on saving throws from spells cast from the staff. Oh, cool. So I have to make a saving throw. What's blindness, deafness saving throw? Is it fortitude or is it will? Look that up.
I actually have no idea.
I'm checking.
Sorry, it's the first time I've ever used this.
Blindness, deafness. The saving throw is a fortitude negates.
Yeah, fortitude negate.
Fortitude, okay, give me 1 second.
Right, saving throw is what, 16, I think? Let me have a look. Oh, it has its own saving throw, doesn't it? So it's an item, doesn't it?
Wait, what?
Or I don't have it listed, and this
No. Yeah. It's a fortitude saving throw. You're saying? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Although I don't have the saving throw listed. This is what you gave me. I'm pretty sure I copied everything straight over.
I always confuse which ones do which. So I'm doing a CMB against you, and you hit me with your attack of opportunity. Does that stop the bull rush or not? Standard action charge in place of you can only make a bull rush against an opponent no more than.
But does being blind affect it?
If you do not have initiating provokes attack of opportunity. If your attack is successful, your target is pushed. But it doesn't say that
it wouldn't stop it because that's not how opportunity attacks work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop it. It's just whether the blind the opportunity.
I guess he is blinded if he doesn't save, he is blinded prior to the attack.
Correct. All right, just one more. Before I make my roll against you, I got to see what happens. And then linguistic perception. So let's see. When blindness happens, you are blinded or deafened. I assume you chose blinded.
Yeah.
-2 to AC, loses its dexterity to AC, takes a -4 on most strength and dex-based skills, skill checks, and on opposed perception checks. Cool. So also 50% mischance against. Okay. Cool. So I have to do a couple
how
of
terrifying
things.
that is.
Yeah.
You just get clocked really hard in the head, and that's it. You can't see.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The best part is because that's it's however many. charges are left and how many rounds it lasts. So, at being the first time I've ever used it, and it having 28 charges,
Jesus. Oh my god.
this poor guy has 28 rounds of blindness.
I don't know what your CMD is, but I'm posing my penalties. I'm making my CMB roll against your CMD.
Okay.
I rolled my odd to hit, and I did hit, so my 50% did make it through. Now, applying my penalties, I'm attacking your CMD, and I might Daddy's Dice this depending on what I roll. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Ooh, 14's on the edge. I'm going to Daddy's Dice this. That's a 17. Does 17 beat your CMD?
Yes. Fun fact, your first one would have beat the CMD, so thank you for using a Daddy's Dice. I have a CMD of 12.
Oh, Jesus! So he is going to come rushing at you, get bashed for 2, meaning you've done the total of, 15 damage to him. And you can see that he is, like, on the edge of just passing out. He's blind.
He's also on fire at the moment, isn't he?
No, technically the persons don't catch fire, yeah.
No, it's a thing. I have to take a round to
I carry these burning
themselves.
items.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like the bed's on fire or whatever, but not them.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So he like blindly reaches for it, grabs you, kind of grabs a leg. You bash him in the back of the head. He grabs a leg and he hoists you up over the railing, and you fall. You're able to make me an acrobatics check, but the DC is not low. Athletics, if acrobatics doesn't exist.
Acrobatics is the one that does exist.
Okay, cool.
Athletics is the one that doesn't exist.
That's okay. It's what we expected anyways.
Oh dear! Oh my god! Do you guys know Dr. Xavier? welcome, Bowron.
Can I just say, my luck, apart from one fucking roll, has been abysmal.
Crippling today. It's been bad.
On the bright side, it's only a 10-foot fall, so you only take 3 points of damage.
Okay, I'm still up. I'm still up.
That's all right. To be honestly, I thought Gluckmug was going to be making you some barrel wheels for your new chair.
It's okay. I'm still up. That's fine. And the best thing is, he's out on the balcony still.
And blind.
Yep. So when it comes to my turn, I'm shooting something at him, then running back inside. Actually, shooting something, running inside, drinking a potion, continuing running.
You hear him going. Sorry, 1 second. Velkin! I can't see! Shut up, Tesh! Velkin! I can't see! Shut up! I got this! Check that, old man!
No, Leon! This is horrible, because I want to murder those people so badly.
Yeah, how is no one showing up with the fire, with the fucking laughing?
Oh, people will
there's
be
a
there.
fire next to the generals. Should we check on it?
Don't worry, people
There's
will
a
be
fire
there.
in it.
Think about how short of a time it's been. You've been in here for less than 30 seconds.
I know.
So
It's just sad to see my friend hear my friend being beaten mercilessly with a club or an axe. Jesus.
Tesh, he's still on the balcony, kind of like trying to feel his way around, trying to grab the balcony and the railing and the door. He has no idea where he is. He's so Balcony!
Okay, I'm just gonna come on, actually hit for once. Yes, and that's not the total damage. Wait, that's not the total damage.
Jesus, he has nowhere near that much health.
Yeah, I still want to see how much damage I'm gonna do.
Jesus Christ, you would have killed him. He's within 30 feet. You would have killed him with that one shot alone. You just did 22 points of damage. They don't have 22 health. So
I want him to be getting the other dude's attention and then just getting, like, once again the face like crunched in.
What? And then you throw a snowball, but the problem is, like, as you're on the ground kind of forming this thing, it's not actually a block of ice. You end up making almost like a pike of ice.
Yes.
And it's like a splatter of like of blood freezing midair as it hits as like bloodsickles against the wall, and instead of like sticking to it, kind of like tink 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 down on the ground and starts melting into blood on the ground instead. And he's just like and just lies down dead on the ground. As the other guy's like, "What the?"
Yep.
I imagine you stand up as well.
Yeah, I'll stand up and I'll be moving inside. I obviously can't get all the way up this turn.
You actually standing up is a move action.
Oh, okay. I stand up. That's my turn. Then.
Yep.
But you can glug.
No, I can't glug a swift action. I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys have belts.
I'm the only one that doesn't have the swift action glug.
it confuses me that the potion belt isn't that, but is that.
But I got that basically immediately, so that was a very low level item.
Yeah.
It's a belt that I can store stuff on, basically, in case I want to put down my bag.
So if you, exactly, in your backpack, you don't have to go searching as a standard action for something. You can search as a move action for something.
Yeah.
So, anyways, or actually even just grab as a free action, right? So my apologies. You.
Actually, that's a good point. Can I use my movement action instead of getting up to drink a potion?
No. You can grab one, but with your belt, you can grab it as a free action as you go. So you're like standing up and grabbing a potion, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, as you're doing that, you literally have a couple of soldiers, up the stairs to where it is that you are, and kind of come over and they're like.
As soon as I hear them, I just point at the room, save Leon.
Okay. And so they go immediately trying to rush past you up the stairs. That guy comes over, looks down the railing, sees you there, and he's like, shit! And as the guards are literally running up the stairs past you, he jumps off the railing, aiming for you to break his fall.
Fucking hell.
Give him the old burning hands to break his fall.
From the ground up.
Val, he jumps off and literally kind of does the hoist and throws his feet down to land on top of you because you're taller than the full height and your body's softer than the ground. So he lands on top of you. You're both going to take damage from the fall, but it's lessened because both of you are sharing it. So it's only 1d4 instead of 1d6 that you're both taking.
Yeah, well, there's
You just got Goomba stomped.
Okay, I was afraid of what I might roll for damage, but because you did 13 to him before, but actually, and the other guy did nothing. Leon did nothing to him before, so he takes 2 damage, which we already know he stays up from because we saw you do that to another guy beforehand, right? So he lands on you, lands directly on top of you, and then immediately starts to try to roll and crawl to stand up and start running out of there. The guards are going to. So actually, it's your turn before the guards. What do you do?
I can't do anything except down the potion, otherwise I go down.
Oh, you had 0? Oh, you're disabled.
I'm at 0.
Oh, that's awesome. So
I have to down the potion.
Yeah, so you drink the potion as your turn, and go ahead. What do you do? How much you heal?
What's the moderate? Because I'm using the moderate one.
2d8 plus 5, plus 3.
There's a button at the bottom.
Oh
there.
yeah, there's a button, isn't there? Yeah. It should. I believe it works, unless I screwed it up.
Yeah.
Cure wounds, but how do I choose what level?
Click on it, and it will give you the should give you the option.
Why so? Hey!
Oh I mean, it's okay.
Hey, Scott, I think your missus is home.
Yeah. It's her last day of vacation, so she's been out and about. So you
and what I would do?
I'm glad that joke just went.
No. I would keep. I would run up to keep pace with him right on, so he has to attack of opportunity to leave.
Wait. I'm sorry. What was that?
With my movement, I would move after him, so he has to attack of opportunity to get away from me.
So more or less, because you drank the potion first, you actually cures the disabled condition. Move action, stand up, 5-foot step to step forward. He's now directly in front of you. If he stands up or walks or anything, he provokes from you. Exactly that. Beautiful. The guards also come down and start come rushing back down the stairs to swarm around where he is as well. Do you want them to kill the guy or keep him alive? Because they're about to start attacking him.
Take him alive, and I would run up the stairs. Okay. Then are we out of combat now, or is he?
Yeah, I would say you're out of combat. So you go rush.
Okay, I would run straight upstairs.
Get him!
I would have another potion in hand, ready.
So one of them quickly kicks him in the back of the head, just like a swift, to the side of his head to knock him out cold with one of their boots on. So it's literally just oof, that's a rough concussion. And then they're going to tie him up. Who cares about brain damage? And you're going to rush up the stairs to go check out Leon. Leon's lying on the ground. He's not moving.
Okay, so I have a potion of cure moderate with a up arrow next to it. I don't know what that means. Can you tell me what that means, Scott? Because Valrun would know what that means. You put it on the list as like literally potion of cure moderate wounds, and there was a up arrow after potion.
That's just when I do my for all my wonderful patrons out there that are so gracious and generous enough to donate on Patreon. There are certain tiers that they go into, and the lower tier allows for potions and scrolls to be rolled, but then the next tier up allows for higher level potions and scrolls to be rolled, which sometimes are the same as lower level ones, but have a better chance of being the more powerful ones. That little tick up just means the next tier. Yeah.
So I would pour that into his mouth.
So you go over and you pour the potion into his mouth. Okay.
Yep.
Without checking anything, you just rush over and pour the potion into his mouth.
I'm not wasting. I'm going to check after I do it. I'm not wasting time. This is we need him. We need him.
Absolutely. You pour the potion into his mouth. Doesn't seem to do anything.
Gain compressions.
Can I do a medicine check?
Absolutely.
Or heal, rather.
Yeah. Whatever that skill is. It's funny, 2 11s in a row. So you check, you go over and you check him. You're not entirely sure, but you think he's no longer with you. That last axe blow was right here, and definitely would have clipped some important, like, you're not a doctor, you don't understand this stuff, but out of game, definitely would have clipped some important, like, arteries or veins or something. It was right above the clavicle, right by the neck. You know what I mean? It was definitely the blow that was just delivered by this guy before he ran and left. You didn't see the blow because you were downstairs. But he's not moving.
I am immediately picking him up and taking him to the Temple of the Martyr.
Okay. So with all of Valorant's great strength, he bends over. Fireman carries this guy onto his back. It takes him a couple tries, but he eventually gets him up there and starts hoisting down the stairs. A couple of the guards, after they got the other one secure, come rushing into the room behind you as you're trying to hoist the guy. They eventually kind of come over and help you hoist him up. But they even offer to take the guy, but do you keep him on your shoulder?
I would keep him. Unless it slows us down, I am going, and no matter what it does to me.
I'll get your horse, says one of the guards, and he goes rushing ahead. And you can make your way down. Jake, you had made your way out and over towards the Temple of Lady Orenda. When you get there, you can see that there are 2 dead bodies in front of the temple that are lying there. Clearly died a bit ago. They're cold now. And the door to the temple is open, and you can hear voices as you're approaching. Not voices, you can hear a voice in the temple.
I'll ride straight into the temple.
On the horse?
Yep.
So, duck! And you go into the temple on the horse, and you literally see 2 inside there pacing back and forth, kind of like playing, like twirling the axe in his hands, like the head spinning as he's like pacing back and forth. Like, that's right, good. Hey, 1! Oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening.
2, guard the Temple of Rogar, and he turns and leaves and goes and like straight back out the door.
He looks at you and says, whoa! Guard the Temple of Rogar? Why? Let them ransack it and let them bring Rogar's wrath. We have to protect the wimpy ones. And he gestures towards the statue of Lady Orenda.
One rides out. He's looking for combat.
Okay. So he turns, goes searching about. Not a problem. And 2, we'll listen to what you said, even though, because you kind of gave the command and left off. Like, oh, fine. You don't order me around, but I guess. And Rayrin, you, after you finished that combat, you heard a whole bunch of hubbub going on. Like I said, you had heard other bits of skirmishes and whatnot around as well. But inevitably, you would see a big burst of light coming from over in the mansion would blow out a few more windows.
Presumably some more guards would have made their way to this location as there was active combat going on here.
I mean, not really. There's not many guards. There are very, 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 very few guards in Kurzweil right now because almost every one of them are outside of it around where the, whatchamacallits are. The refugees.
I mean, then there's only one guard here.
There's the guard that's with you. The other one that was dropped wasn't... you'd have to make a check to see if he's alive or not, which I imagine you would have done. You're welcome to make a heal check.
Yeah, I wouldn't just like stand there and watch him die. Oh, that's a shame. Scott, I've got a thing going on with loads of my stuff has a little man symbol next to it, and it's got minuses for no reason.
Let me check it out.
Because my armor is
weight.
off. Or maybe it's weight.
Check gold. If you have the gold thing ticked, it will weigh you down a fuck ton.
How do I check the weight of gold? Or
additional down the bottom, it's got a coins. And if that's ticked, it'll weigh you down a ton.
Let me untick coins and see. That's what's done it. Okay.
It did it to me as well when I got the influx of selling stuff.
Okay. I see.
That would be going in the bag of holding.
Right. Okay. He'll check anyway. I bet that one didn't go through because it's a good roll.
No, it's a gorgeous roll. And he actually is looking rather on death's edge, but he's still alive. In critical, but still alive. He was stomped.
What's a cure light and what's a cure medium?
1D, 2D.
1d8, 2d8. I can spare him a cure light. I won't let him die. Yep, I'll administer a cure light wounds.
You can just use that macro there. All right, cool. You give him the cure light wounds. He comes to, and he's still beat up, but he actually comes to, and oh wow, yeah, he actually is looking pretty good. Like you used a miracle potion on him. He's still got scrapes and bruises, and he's still got a headache, and he aches and whatnot. But he's back up on his feet and is able to continue. You help him up. Back on your feet, soldier.
These guys are disarmed, well tied. They're looking pretty downtrodden.
Yeah. So. Wait. Who's looking downtrodden? My apologies.
Refugees.
Yeah.
Quote unquote refugees.
Yeah. It's almost like they're realizing what they did was not necessarily a good thing.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
Rowan would say, take them to the dungeons. Await further instructions.
Okay, the two guards do exactly that. Where do you head off to?
He'd head towards the fire.
Okay.
And the flames.
So you head over to where that big explosion, that blowout is. And actually, you would see that explosion as well as you're looking for combat. Two there. What's your name? One, because you were heading towards the Temple of Lady Arenda. You would have just head out of it and looking for combat. So you'd have been noticing the big, near where the old fire was, there's a new little burst of light that happens over in that direction, as well as hearing combat like off to the distance as well. It's up to you as to whether or not you would join to the bright light or kind of go off to these other little skirmishes and just put a quash to them.
What's closer?
I'd say the skirmishes, because there's so many of them. It's kind of like, oh, there's one there. Oh, there's one there. There's one there.
Yeah, probably head for the skirmishes then.
One of the things that you notice when you head for the skirmishes, one, is it's not actually all guards that are fighting these skirmishes, because there are not very many guards in the town, as I keep saying. It's actually some of your actual townsfolk have taken up arms to defend their land against these seeming invaders that are going on. And so, how is it that you would go about trying to end these combats? Are you just swiftly and, what's the word I'm looking for, mercilessly just killing those that are causing mischief? Or would you go for, if there's an opportunity, more of a subduing nature?
Well, in the first skirmish, I would swift action, intimidate, and tell them to fucking lie on the ground or die.
So you're going to try to be non-violent if you can, but use violence liberally if you have to.
Well, I can only use it once on the first group, so if they don't surrender, I'm blistering invective.
Okay. I imagine like, your intimidation's 26 without even trying.
Yeah.
So it works. That's
Yeah.
a
Well,
really,
then
really
I
high
drop.
check.
That's the first group, so I'd have whoever's fighting them subdue them, then on to the next.
Okay, and so you would try to use as little violence as possible. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Awesome. And you're going to be able to quash. Your axe is not going to stay dry, but you don't have to have it bathed and gallons of blood. So you are going to be able to clean up what kind of the mess is all about here and there with that, and you don't even have to roll anything because you have a 26 on that, and these people are wimpy enough that you can just go, and they're not there anymore. Their ACs are on average 10 to 12. And your chance to hit's what, like a +7?
Something like that. Where are we?
Yeah, exactly. You're good enough.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you can actually do the attack roll modifying judgment instead of constantly doing the AC one this time. So,
yeah, and that gives me a +2. And I could divine favor and stuff, which also gives me a +2 on top and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. So it's easy for you to quash this. So we don't even need to focus on you because your character goes about putting out fires while starting other ones. And Rayron, you head towards that burst, and you literally head and kind of get over there as you see two of the guards assisting Valrin and hoisting limp Leon onto the back of the horse.
I mean, Rayron would come over and be like, "What happened?"
Assassins from Paradale.
Is he? He like looks towards Leon, already knowing the answer.
Yeah, and Valon would just be rushing as fast as he can. I'm taking him to the martyr.
Good luck. I'll meet you there.
This nod and off he goes as fast as he can. He's still not. He doesn't want to waste a second.
What do you do at this point, Neil? Do you try to join with him, or do you continue going about and try to resolve situations?
Raymond would start running towards the Temple of the Martyr, and he'd call out for Momig, which is Old Man, Young Man Ghost. We've renamed him to Momig.
Momig?
Yeah,
I need to
Old
write
Man,
that
Young
down.
Man Ghost. We've renamed it to Momig because it's the same.
I like
The
it.
camera's doing that choppy thing again. It's like very periodic, and I don't know why it happens. But you're like, that's like dizzying. Okay, so you call out for him. He doesn't respond at first. He's often very busy. So, and
I called the bitch again.
Tesh, you eventually get to the Temple of the Martyr. And, once you're there, you can actually see that there is a guard standing outside of the Temple of the Martyr. There are no bodies or anything like that around it, and so on. And so this guard happens to be one of the guards that is part of the Royal Guard. It's one of the people that usually defend the castle. They are here. They're not in their armor or their full uniform. It looks like they came from their home, and they're armed to be here. This is one of those, you can appreciate the faith of this man. And so they have the weapon, of course. And so they open up the door for you, and they're actually going to immediately help you, dismount Leon, who you rode with, and help you kind of bring him into the temple. Where do you bring him?
If there's some sort of altar, just right up onto that.
Okay, you easily are able to dismount him and carry him over to the altar. It takes a bit of time, takes some work, allowing Neil to close the gap even more. Now he's on the altar.
I would just start praying to the martyr, just asking. I don't believe it was this man's time. He had newly embraced all this to an extreme, and we need him and his mercy to get through this. We need him, and he has done good things and doesn't deserve. It's not his time yet. Is essentially what he's trying to say.
You're welcome to make a religion check for the quality of prayer that you give in this difficult time, because you're kind of doing it with not a clear head and so on.
Knowledge religion.
Yes, sir.
That's the worst one of my rolls, and I roll fucking of course.
Okay, so the problem is it's a very pressured time. You yourself were very injured. You know, you literally saw this man getting axed at. You got thrown off of a balcony and somebody drop kick jumped off of it at you, and you yourself are a little bit shaken at the moment, which is why it's kind of hard to concentrate on these prayers. Besides, you're not a deeply religious person. You have religion in your heart, but this isn't like something that you profess constantly. This isn't something that comes naturally to you like it does for one, right? So it's a little bit more difficult. While he's doing this, and Jake has one cleaning up messes outside, Rayron, you can see the Temple of Lady of the Martyr. You can see the Temple of the Martyr right in front of you. And then finally, kind of stepping into existence right in front of you. Yes. And kind of like, whoa, as you stop, instead of colliding into him. Yes.
No, he's a ghost. I can just collide. I can go through him, right?
It's up to you.
For like speed purposes. I mean, like I shift, so I'm not just like disrespectfully passing through him. But, like,
so you juke, like jump to the side.
Yeah.
He watches after. He's like, "You called for me."
Hey, Momik, can you get a line to the martyr? We just need you to make our words a little more audible for her. You've got a connection to her, no?
He's going to step out of existence and then back into it again in front of you again.
In front of me.
Yep. And
this time I'll stop.
Be like, not exactly.
Not exactly.
You want me to draw a connective line between you and a divine entity?
Yes, I suppose so. Not quite that connective, but in the same way that one would hear prayers, no? Just make my prayer the loudest for a minute.
It's not something that I work with magic similar to the ones that you are familiar with. Things like that are a little outside of my wheelhouse.
Yes, but you have a link to the martyr, don't you? You won't tell it, but I can tell. There's something there that you aren't telling us. Something you can use.
Not exactly. You're not wrong, but it's not what you think. What are you trying to accomplish? What has happened? And then he just kind of like, he looks off into the side and it's almost like he can now, like he's now seeing what transpired, kind of like.
My friend has died, and I want him healed, if I can. And I will beseech the martyr with your help or without. However, after all we've been through, I was rather hoping I could count on your aid.
I'm here to protect you, your ilk, and your kingdom overall. I've promised that. Returning people from the dead, manipulation of souls, that's not something I'm familiar with. However, I would point out there was an arrangement recently set.
Yes, I'm trying not to use that, if possible.
Beyond my suggestion of that, I don't know what you would ask of me. You want me to bridge a gap between myself and the martyr and use that as a channel for you, and I'm telling you, for reasons that you can't understand, no.
I will ask her for help first of all. And then if not, we will see what has to be done. We are on her land, her holy land. The place of her creation, the center, the heartland. That has to count for something.
Roll me a sense motive.
While he does that quickly, I would have, as I was going, told the rest of the guards that weren't, helping me carry this guy out to put out the fire. I'm not just going to let that rage.
I'm tempted to like this because I want to know more about him.
We've got 4.
Hi.
We're definitely going to need a luck for potential prayer, if that's even possible.
I think I fucked it already.
That's alright. I got an idea.
I'm gonna luck this one then because I want to know more about Momig. Yeah, 18.
18 is still good. That's very good.
It's good, but not necessarily with a creature of this caliber, right? So, all right. So he, so my apologies. You say your words, and you don't get any additional reading or anything off of him. And so he says, so blah, blah, blah. He says, well, matters such as this are very sensitive with time. I suggest you choose yours wisely. And Rayron, good luck.
He'd give an appreciative nod. He knows the old man has a reason for what he's doing, whether or not it's a good reason. Rayron's going to walk into the temple. His eyes flash blue for a moment. He's going to use spell recall. And then he says a few words. He's going to use fallback strategy. So that is one from the arcane.
Look at Neil crushing it with the skill, with the class abilities. I'm just going to get that back. I'm just going to cast that again. I'm just going to walk in so I can re-roll. This is...
Rayron's going to walk forward and place his hand on Leon's chest. And then he's going to turn his eyes upward and say, Marta, we beseech you that you return our friend. For something to be gained, something has to be given. That is the way. One must make sacrifice. I ask you, have I not sacrificed enough for this country? I have sacrificed countless lives. Is that not worth some small reprieve? Am I not a martyr myself? Can you not give me this one boon?
Why don't you roll me a religion check? Now, there are actual DCs that if you hit them, you catch the ear of the divine.
Yeah, it's going to be a high one. This is the point where you wish I was trained in religion. I'm going to use fallback strategy to re-roll that one.
Okay.
Oh, even worse.
Oh my god.
That's it. I tried.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You kind of say the prayer, and nothing happens. And I imagine your shoulders slump, and you're just like... But then you notice the lights inside the room flicker and dim. And then there seems to be a warm glow that's coming from somewhere that you can't see, you can't hear. Seems to be some sort of warmth coming. And a bright light. And you see a form start to emerge, kind of like almost seeming to come in through a wall or ceiling or whatever it might be. It catches your eye. It's one of those moments where you kind of like look over at Valorant like, dude, do you see this? But Valorant doesn't see it. He's still looking at Leon. Motionlessly. As if he's frozen. As a matter of fact, the other guard in the room is frozen as well. Neither of them breathing, neither of them blinking, neither of them moving at all. Completely frozen. When a form kind of brings itself before you, the form that you see is an orb. It's like a sphere. It has a nice warm glow to it. And it kind of sits inside the room, leaving a low hum to it. A low hum that it doesn't really have any music, any melody or anything, just kind of like... But that hum itself almost gives peace to you. Gives like a certain stillness and like encourage and bolting to you. You can actually feel every bit of like your worries, your doubts and whatnot start to kind of like fade away. Almost like you just stepped inside from the winter's cold. You can feel it. You can see it through almost like the window in your mind, but it's not hitting you now. You're standing by this warm fire, right? And after this orb kind of settles before you, you hear a voice.
It better not be Lady Arabelle.
It's a little melodic. It's a little kind of like sing-songy, and has like a deep resonating noise to it. Even though like I can't necessarily make my voice to it, you can almost feel it like echoing. So there's like 2 or 3 echoes that come off of the walls around you as it reverberates with its low tone, right? And you hear it say, "You call to the martyr and ask for aid, because of the countless knives that you have given to your kingdom. But you have not given those lives to somebody... but you have not given those lives to the upper realms, to where it is that souls may come to rest. You gave those lives for a deal that perhaps cost you more than you might understand. I come here on behalf of the martyr to inform you that your request is not going to be fulfilled, and that she does not see you as a martyr. To use such words is to scorn your own life and those around you. You've made a pact. You've chosen your path. Not one that can't be returned from, but certainly one that you're going to have to walk.
Then she would turn her back on Valorant.
The glow kind of like pulses a few times and says, Valorant has his gifts, and he uses them to the benefit of himself and to all that he encounters, reducing suffering and giving aid to those that are in need. Valorant does not make decisions that others are willing to do. Never would have. Never will.
I understand.
The glow kind of like pulses a couple more times, and then slowly starts to like drift back through the wall, and the light and the glow seems to dissipate. And it, all of a sudden you feel crashing in the fact that you believe at the very least, and most likely it's true, Leon is dead before you. Reminder of all the souls that you've sacrificed and everything else. Not to mention just the fact that it is bitter cold winter right now. It's Northern Hemisphere February, Southern Hemisphere September right now. Like it is cold as balls right now, and it all comes crashing in on you like a tidal wave all at once, sending literally a shiver down your spine and probably emotions running up your now flushed face. You know what I mean? Valorant reacting to the prayer that you just heard. I don't know how you were going to react to the prayer that you heard. What's his name? Rayron saying. His hand on the chest said his words. Blah 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 blah.
Honestly, he probably just focusing on praying himself more than anything.
Okay.
He would have, like, it's one of those things where like he would have heard that he was praying, but just acknowledged his praying and focused all of his energy on his own prayer, sort of thing. But obviously it was not going to work. So after a bit of time, and it doesn't work, Byron would stand up, just.
She said no. Rayron's like gazing stonily ahead, not looking at anyone.
A corpse is not someone.
Valorant is going to walk. He's going to go help any other way he can out there. Put out more fires, help more people.
Please.
What?
I said, tell me when I find out, please, Scott.
About Leon?
Yep.
I will. Just like, because there's the micro moment. You're out there, so I'm letting them finish.
We should have him buried as he would want in the rites of Lady Ereval. I'll speak to one. I'll bring it up at some point.
Thank you.
Valorant,
he would like start to walk and then stop again.
Never mind.
You leave, Valorant. The guard leaves with you as well, leaving Rayron alone with the corpse.
Was that leaving Valorant or Rayron? Sorry.
I said Rayron alone with the corpse. Valorant leaves.
Yeah. Valorant's going to go try and do more, put out fires, anything he can. He just needs to do something.
I think Rayron would look at Leon's body and then look at the hand he'd placed on him for the prayer. And then he sort of looks heavenward, upwards. And then he turns slightly and he'll sit on one of the steps up to the shrine and just wait.
Wait for?
Nothing specific. He's just sitting there.
Okay. Eventually you would hear chatter amongst that few that kind of like broke something else up. You'd be like, thank you. Chosen of the Blade, thank you so much for helping. Do you know if Leon's okay? General Jaeger, is he okay?
You know more than me, soldier. Fill me in.
His mansion was attacked. Chosen of the Hearth brought him to the Temple of the Martyr.
He just turns on his horse and rides for the temple.
You go to the temple. You come to a temple that has a closed door.
I open the door. Get down off my horse and open the door.
You see, sitting on the steps up to the shrine, up to the actual like what is it called, altar, is Rayrin just sitting there, and you see the body of Leon lying on the altar.
I walk in and I say, he's dead.
He was a good man. I wish that he could have passed in his sleep. I think that's what he wanted after all. We forced him into this. And he ended up dying in battle just like he didn't want.
As you're in the shrine to the martyr, Valoran tried to bring him back.
Valran tried, and I tried. She said no.
Well, there's more than one god that is in this city. And he walks over and he picks Leon up.
She said it wouldn't happen.
I don't serve the martyr. And he walks out with Leon on his shoulder.
One.
Doesn't listen, keeps walking.
Does he leave it be, or does he try to get his attention more forcefully?
I mean, he's on his horse, so like Rowan would follow, and like when one like places the body gently on the horseback, Rowan would put a hand on his shoulder and say, "I've done something." One.
One looks back to you as he's getting on his horse.
I made a deal to remove the curse on the river.
Yes, very quickly.
The martyr said there's punishment because of this.
I
One
don't
of
give a
them.
fuck about the martyr, and he rides off.
Gah! And you ride over to the Temple of Vroga. Now,
Oh, you better do, boy, and please tell me Tuesday.
well, I was just about to say, and when you arrive, 2 is inside the temple. Sitting there, he's pacing back and forth, still flipping his action. That's right, we can fucking kill them. Oh, hey, a body! And he like comes over and looks as like, oh shit, is that the old? Looks like he got some justice, huh?
We're gonna try something too. One gets off his horse and he shuts the temple door. Can I bar it?
Yeah.
They're gonna eat
door?
him.
Okay, you bar the door. Yeah, he'll pick up things and carry over and bar it. He's like, this sort of thing isn't exactly what you and I do. This is 3's thing. This is what she does.
Well, she's not here. But we have to try. So he lays Leon down in the middle of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 2 start like a chant, something, maybe like a litany to Vrogar or something like that. And one says, go on.
I was just about to do off the cuff, like and in the battle, in the chaos, in the war, and in the fights, on comes Vrogar, showing all his might. Here's Vrogar!
That's pretty good.
And they slap each other's bums when they shout. It's Vrogar.
What language is he talking in?
I imagine because Orcish is what all of you guys speak together when you're together, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it the common language between all of you because you've met in the Barrenlands, right?
Yep. I was just wondering what he was praying in, because it would not have been Perrin, or we would have had a problem.
No, because he worships worships Vroga, not Vroga Warrook.
Yeah. And he's going to start chanting himself, and he's going to say,
Oh no!
Well, there's the answer for you. There's Vrogar's answer right there.
Fucking dang!
So
He's gonna say,
while we're waiting for Jake, Rayron's got a lot of time to think. I'm a bit worried that this is gonna work, but be blocked by the martyr's not blessing.
Wait, what?
"Oh,
I'm
he's
a
gonna
bit
try
worried that,
something." is what he's
I'm a
saying.
bit worried that Vrogar will be able to resurrect this man who's dedicated his life to war, but then something's going to go wrong because the martyr said no, it's not happening.
Well, we'll see. Well, you know what? Honestly, let's see if we can get Jake back. Why don't we take a super quick break? Because we can run a little bit. So why don't we take a super quick break and then we'll come back for a super tiny little bit because I imagine Tesh wants to go to bed and whatnot. So let's take a teeny tiny little one.
I got
Tesh's
nothing
like, no,
tomorrow.
fuck you.
All right, I'll be right back just to give him a chance to fix himself. Okay?
Scott wants to run away. He's trying to blame it on us.
I gotta go pee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old.